If you grew up in the 1980s or 1990s, you probably grew up watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But what you probably didn't know at that time was this was your first exposure to film noir. But first, what is film noir? Film noir is a genre of movies that is highly debated. Some say a noir movie must be in black and white. Some say a noir movie must be from the 1940s or 1950s. And although not all film noirs fall into these two categories, most do, but there are a few other elements to make a film noir. Characters in film noir movies, even the protagonist, are often corrupted or flawed, finely walking the line between good and evil. They are morally ambiguous. The characters are often forced into situations that push them to make questionable decisions. Typically, film noir plots are based around dark storylines involving murder, blackmail, or robbery, and often involve private investigators or police. Film noir has a cynical, pessimistic sense of fatalism where often things do not work out as planned. The plots are normally complex stories with plot twists, double crosses, so you never know who's on the up and who isn't. Mostly filmed in the urban settings of big city streets, often filmed at night and in the rain, film noir uses black and white to create high contrast lighting with stark shadows, which gives a menacing feeling of tension. The cinematography often uses extreme close-ups or the juxtaposition of wide shots at different angles and the classic Dutch tilt or Dutch angle, giving a disorienting feeling of unease or distortion to the viewer. Two identifying character tropes of film noirs are the femme fatale, a dangerous and seductive woman who often manipulates the protagonist, leading him to his own downfall, and the disillusioned protagonist himself, an often jaded anti-hero struggling with his own moral failings, often played by a private investigator, often suffering from alcoholism resulting from a sudden and tragic death of a loved one. Film noir is a style of crime drama characterized by its cynical themes, complex plots, and distinct visual aesthetics. This style is defined by low-key, high-contrast black and white cinematography with dramatic shadows, often set in urban environments. Key elements include disillusioned protagonist, morally ambiguous characters like the femme fatale, voiceover narration, and stories with pessimistic or tragic endings.
What a wife.
I'm desperate, Mr. Valiant. Can't you see how much I need you?
And the movie that I consider my very first film noir is 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, a film blending live action and animation. I know it's not your typical film noir, but it does have all of the tropes. Set in 1947 Hollywood, Bob Hoskins plays the role of Eddie Valent, a private investigator forced to do a job he doesn't want to take. To investigate the femme fatale of the film, one Jessica Rabbit, an animated bombshell redhead voiced by the sultry, gravelly-voiced Kathleen Turner. Eddie Valent suffers from alcoholism as a result of his brother's tragic and untimely death when a tune dropped a piano on his head. Eddie Valent is a deeply troubled character who can't get over the past. He has shut himself off from the world and trusts no one. He has buried himself in a bottle to alleviate the pain, but he still shows signs of being a ruthless badass who can hold his own if problems occur. In a plot twist, Eddie Valent soon discovers the simple job of catching Jessica Rabbit playing patty cake was only the tip of the iceberg, and he is now involved in a full-on murder mystery. Although an animated cartoon movie co-starring live-action actors, this film is film noir, or at the very least, the subcategory of film noir known as neo-noir. It has all the tropes of a classic film noir movie. An alcoholic private investigator involved in a murder investigation, a manipulative bombshell seductress femme fatale, a political villain who bought his election, and it even has menacing shadows cast by the light through the window blinds. Yes, it is also a comedy with great jokes like Who Needs a Car in LA? Or Eddie Valent thanking kids for giving him his cigarettes after he's stealing a ride on a bus, an obvious old fling with Betty Boop, or referencing sex as playing patty cake, removing the handcuffs from your hand, but only when it was funny, disparaging the Brooklyn Dodgers right before they moved to LA, and of course, the crooning sword. When I was a child visiting my grandmother on weekends and we would watch this movie on VHS, I had no idea I was being introduced to a movie category I would later love in life, known as film noir. But I'm pretty sure that she knew what she was doing, and I will always be thankful to her for that. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is probably the first film noir movie that you ever watched. Let me know if you think it is a film noir. And let me know what you think of the movie. Thank you for watching the channel, and we'll see you next time.
The Rabbit's Wife sings at a joint called the Ink and Paint Club. Tune review. Strictly humans only, okay? So what do you think, Dragon? Well?
The job's gonna cost you $100, plus expenses.
$100? That's ridiculous.
So's the job.